Alright, welcome to the lab. Can we start out? We're just going to play F major scale, but we play this rhythm. Can everyone read this from here? Alright, we play this rhythm up in F major scale, one measure per note. I'll conduct the eighth note.
Who's F major scale?
Concert F, she said.
Did you say that?
I did not.
What was the result?
The first part was a little shaky.
First part?
Yeah.
Was a little shaky?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
The wrong notes at the beginning. I don't think I should have said play a concert F major scale. And maybe make sure everyone knew what we're starting.
Yeah, you heard that, right? It was lots of different notes for a while. Why did you stop?
Hoping they would fix it.
Okay. How'd that work out?
As well as probably if I would stop and start over.
Yeah, did they figure it out?
I think by the end, yeah.
Yeah, I think we're playing unison by the end. Are we pretending this is a junior high band or a high school band now?
Probably think it's like a beginning professional high school band. I think that's the literature maybe. I mean, obviously, any high school group would probably play this, but it's probably about a grade 3-4, so.
We'll come back to that in
Yeah.
a minute. So would they figure that out?
Maybe. Probably not, though.
Next time, just stop it, concert F, find that unison before you go on.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, from the beginning. And I'll be conducting each note, just like in the beginning.
Does that part have a pickup note?
It does.
It does. Okay. Now, did you explain to them what's going on?
No.
We should probably do that, so they can kind of understand.
What lap band is?
No, well, you gotta understand right there. Okay.
There's no score for this right now. I'm conducting off the organ harmonium part, so I have not much of a clue of who's playing what, but I will try to conduct to the best of my ability right here.
And I suppose that's not a bad idea either. You said the whole what lab band is, since it's the first time and we have new students here. But that's not a terrible idea. Lab band, you guys, this is, the notion is we're trying to help students like Kyle get from conducting class to student teaching in one piece. So this is kind of an in-between. conducting class, and before you get some more major teaching episodes as part of methods classes, or kind of maybe at the same time as some of those, and before you get into student teaching. So this thing is a bit mercurial. It can change depending on the circumstances, whether it's about conducting, or whether it's about lesson planning, or whether it's about teaching techniques, or error detection, or etc. So the notion is basically about 20 minutes per person. Usually, well, all the time, the conductor has prepared a bit of a lesson plan, has some elements of play through the whole piece, some elements of let's take one section and tear it apart, put it back together, and get some experience. Get some experience getting your knees knocking together, standing on the podium, that feeling of trying to get the thing off the page and into the instruments and respond. Okay, so that's what Lab Band is. Welcome to Lab Band. Hooray, Lab Band. And got it. So I thought for a second you didn't have that pickup note in your part because I didn't really see you give the pickup note.
It seems like you knew the piece when you were conducting, especially with the cues and stuff. So I thought that was good. Yeah.
Towards the end, where it's the slow off slightly or slightly faster and stuff like that, I thought that you did a really good job of keeping that even
Okay, yeah. And I thought that. Any other comments? You have anything?
Start.
Okay.
So how's it going?
Seems finished on the entrance.
Okay. I agree.
Alright, I'll try to leave it there.
See if you can start it without your arms. So you cheated, but what happened? What's different this time than the time before?
They breathe difference.
Maybe. What's the more important difference? Try again. Put your hand back, put your arm back. Go ahead and use whatever you want. So you say you wanted to do a little bit more of a conducting technique, right?
Yeah.
One of my favorite conducting is that one of the big decisions we have to make all the time is whether or not the ensemble needs us to make it happen or let it happen. So right out of the chute, we're working on the breath and the arm and the stick and all that kind of stuff. Is that a let it happen or make it happen?
Probably let it happen.
You think so? Can they do that without you?
I think for the first part, I mean, to get everybody together, but once it starts, a little bit, let it happen. So I guess to start it would be make it happen, but.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta make this beginning,
Mhm.
right? And then,
And then it's, let the music happen.
yeah, yeah, the it becomes an interesting thing to define, right?
Mhm.
What's it?
The flow of phrasing.
Do you need to let or make the tempo happen after you get started?
Probably let the computer control it a little bit as well.
Who controls it?
I think the major part would be me, but let them be musical with it.
Who controls it? They. They control it. We police it, you know? Thursday afternoons, quote unquote dress rehearsal, some conic band, at the end of the third movement of the whole suite will just like roll downhill like a big meatball.
Mhm.
And it just got faster and faster and faster and faster, and I could not slow it down.
Uh-huh.
It just kept going. So they control it. They control the tempo. If they want to go faster than we are, they're going faster than we are. We can wave and jump our arms in the air all day long. Now, in a rehearsal situation, we can also stop them,
Right.
and we can, you know, write tersely worded emails. But they control the tempo. Now, we police the tempo, you know, we help remind that after that on Thursday, we have to get on Sunday. I said, everybody feel how fast we got there? Yes, why do we do that? I don't know. Let's not do that. Okay. You know, we're wrong.
Right.
Right, so, we're the compass to a degree, we're sort of the police officer. So, they have to make time and tempo happen. Can you influence, shape, line, music?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you let time happen, but then try to make, encourage, reinforce, shape. You said before this is like a grade 3, grade 4, maybe,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, like, maybe it's like a grade 9.
Yeah.
This thing's so hard.
Yeah.
This thing's so hard. I mean, I've heard this played so badly so many times. Because there's not hard notes or hard rhythms necessarily. I mean, you can teach 6 with it, so people use it to teach 6.
Mhm.
But, man, listen to how nervous they are to play. These guys are great players. Put this in front of the high school 4th band. trouble. So this is hard. We're right out of the chute. What's the eighth note called?
Eighth note is 104.
104.
Which by a little faster than what I was taking.
Yeah, I think you're a little quick. See, and the 104 part, you bring your gnome around?
Back
All right, bring it with you. Right, bring it with you. You notice something, every single rehearsal, Dr. Steele and I, we have it at arm's length.
Yeah.
You know why?
Check.
Right, because we've been doing it longer than you,
Mhm.
and then, you know, he's been doing it since baseball was invented. And, and we still can't trust our 104.
Right.
We still can't trust our eighth note equals 104, because you know what? If Sarah starts laying down something really beautiful back there, I'm gonna go with her because it's beautiful. Whether or not it's 104. My temptation is gonna be to go with her, because my temptation is to keep the band together.
Right.
And if we start steering the Titanic towards iceberg, I'm gonna go with. And the metronome helps keep us on. Helps keep us on. It's not just click, click, click while the band is
Right.
performing, unless we're just kind of checking. There's a band veterans in here, they've seen me do that a million times. We're doing something, it's kind of cooking, I just turn over and I'm checking out the red light, we're kind of with it. Okay, turn it right back off. I'm just trying to make sure that we're all staying honest, because I'm as guilty as anyone.
Right.
of not being honest. So I think your 104 is a little slow. And the reason frankly, the reason that it seems a little slow is because the 6 seemed pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
The knuckleballer about this tune is that the 104 is too quick for the 6 to really be comfortable, and then that 52 is too slow for the 2 to really be comfortable. It's right in that gray zone of death,
Yeah.
where it needs really quality musicians to help take that quarter note, eighth note stuff and move it. Okay? What do you think of that first note?
As in.
Would y'all play the first note? If you have it. And. What do you think of that first note?
It's definitely kind of the, I don't know.
These are tough questions.
Yeah.
I got you right on the hot seat, you know. What's anybody think of that first note? What do you think of that first note? It's on. Let's try to get beyond that. Eli?
I think it's out of tune.
Oh, stop about the attitude. All you bandos. Get out of bando. Sir.
It's, is it Sarah or Sir?
Sir.
Oh! It was a pulse and spin all day. I was
So let's spend all day. Okay, you're still in like judging a band contest mode. All of you, get out of judging a band contest mode. Yeah.
There's not enough color to it.
Yeah, maybe. You're still in critical band contest mode.
That's up the phrase.
Maybe. Yeah?
The first note is always the hardest.
Maybe. Every rose has its thorn. You always hurt the ones you love. Is that note the end of something or beginning of something? And not just because of where it is on the page. Listen to it. Play the first pitch again. Just listen to it. Is that on the end of something or is it the beginning of something? Maybe. You know, this is music, not math. So the nice part is that it could be either one. Now it's in the upper left-hand corner. So play 2 notes. First note, first note. So now is that note the beginning of something or the end of something? Obvious question. Don't be scared. Just the beginning of something, right? The first note's like a little mystery. That first note is
There's nothing related to it. It's
exciting. I mean, the first note's, you know, yeah. You ever see a picture where there's just a little tiny bit of the sun left? You know, how do you know if that's sunset or sunrise? You might know if I showed you the picture. You know, if it's sunset, maybe everything around is like more burnt orange. If it's sunrise, maybe everything around is more like silvery blue-gray. Listen to that first note again. I love this first note. Love this kind of stuff. First note. You agree with it?
No.
So what is it?
I never played this in my high school and I forgot.
iPhone answers in 3. Gotta know. I'm not gonna tell you. Now, you don't have to score. That's all right. You can still Google this.
Yeah.
Right? Titles are important. I'll tell you a true story. Dr. Steele, in conducting class, used to put on an extra credit test question, extra credit question on the exam. Extra credit question. And it was a piece of music that you had to harmonically analyze. Well, no, you didn't. You had to just answer what's the form. It's a little piece of music, a little piano thing. And the extra credit question was, what's the form? And he said in the beginning, he used to just kind of laugh because he would watch students just like sweat bullets harmonically analyzing the thing until their pencils all broke. And then, after a course of years, it stopped being funny because nobody ever got the answer right, and the students kept getting angry about how it took so long and it was so hard. The piece of music was stapled to the back of the exam, and it was called, the title was on top of it, Rondo Number 2. So the form is Rondo. It's a thinker. It's a true story. Stop doing it because we stopped seeing the forest with the trees. And nobody looked at the title. They just went in and they started scratching their pencils trying to figure it out using harmonic analysis or something in class. Titles are important. Titles are important. They can give you some information now. What do we know about Granger?
Well, it's Australian born. He's also a piano player.
Yeah.
And I studied in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And moved to the United States in 1914.
Boring.
He was in the army band.
Now we're getting somewhere interesting.
Yeah, he was in the army band for a while during World War I.
Doing what?
Until he was playing. It wasn't piano because
Ooh.
they finally figured out that they had this virtuosic piano player.
Not really. They never really did. What do you play? This is important. What do you play, Adam Armstrong?
Sax.
Sax. Saxophone. Is Percy Granger a romantic man? Yes, yes. No. Yes. Hugely romantic. Maybe not in the most mainstream, I would choose the word normal. Far be it from anyone to say what's normal right now. We'll say mainstream perhaps. But Percy Granger was a lover. He was in love with things in the world. Percy Granger walked like hundreds of miles to get one place to the other because he loved the earth and the grass and the cold and the hot and the flowers and the sounds of things. And he loved nomadic tribal people. He loved, that's where Lake Shaposi came from. He was a tremendously romantic human being. You guys listen to these colonial songs. Listen to Wilderness March. Listen to the Horkstowe Grange. This is important. Born Austrian, or give me the history textbook or the Wikipedia page. Right? Right? That's what's more important. So how does any of that information relate? What Ye Banks and Braes O Bonnie Doon might mean to an extremely nationalistic person who loved things intensely.
It was expressing his love for.
Maybe? Maybe? What's a bank and a bray and a old Bonnie Doon? And what's it about? You know, Colonial Song is about Australia.
Right.
It's a love song to his country. You know, Irish Tune is a love song. Horkstowe Grange is a love song.
Because originally, I mean, it's a Scottish folk song, but originally actually it's a poem by Robert Burns.
Okay.
And so, I mean, because I looked that up actually.
Good.
So,
Kylie, you're a brilliant musician. You're a really smart guy. Just the question is, what information helps us?
Well, it's definitely, since it's taken from a folk song, it should be a singing style as well.
Sure. Okay. Is it vocal?
Yeah, originally he wrote it as for a male quartet with either women or whistles.
And what's the folk song about?
Um,
No.
no.
Right. Let's get to that. Okay. So they don't need you for tempo. They might need you for music making. And this is perhaps a very cantabile, dolce, cantabile, espressivo piece of music.
Yeah.
Let's see that. Already, you lost me. Take your time. Take your time. Don't be offended. It's hard, really hard. Especially you're really in this box of feeling like you got to conduct 6, right? Your mouth said they don't need time and tempo. What did he give you? Time. You know, you're trying. I saw you. Okay, don't get me wrong. You're doing fine. And this is hard stuff. But it's also the really exciting stuff, right? We got mezzo piano, and then we got forte, parenthesis, mezzo forte.
I just have music piano.
Yeah, well, there you go, right? So that's kind of difficult for you, but you know what? You're a good enough musician. You can hear that in this, right?
Yeah, there's different ones.
Yeah. If you guys want to write somewhere, if you start little lists of books or things that you want to get, put on the top of the list, Casals and the Art of Interpretation. This is a biblical kind of thing. You know who Pablo Casals is, Laura? No? Such a shame. He's the greatest cellist that ever lived. Yo-Yo Ma's still trying to be Pablo Casals when he grows up. Pablo Casals is the greatest cellist that's ever lived. And his student wrote this book after his death, called Casals and the Art of Interpretation, and it's basically everything Casals taught me about making music. So we have this opportunity to have private lessons with the greatest cellist that ever lived by reading this book. And Casals said that all music moves in rainbows. Now, he spoke Spanish. He was a Spanish person. English was a second language. So I think in the interpretation, rainbows got substituted for what he meant was curves. Because a rainbow can imply symmetry, like up 2, down 2, up 2, down 2, up 4, down 4. And we know music doesn't have to do that. And he certainly didn't intend that to be the case. But it does all move in curves. He said that mezzo piano means in the range of piano fortissimo. You know? If someone asked the room here, what dynamic level am I speaking? You could perhaps give an answer, but hopefully that doesn't mean that I spoke in one volume the entire time that I was speaking to you and never changed at all, because mezzo forte equals 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, medium loud. It'd be awful. Awful. So this is obviously what he meant. There's so much room. We have terrible, sometimes we have terrible terms in music, like attack and cut off. Dynamic is one of the most amazing, because it is exactly what it is. If mezzo forte is a dynamic, dynamic means the opposite of static. Not still, not the same, not one thing. It is a dynamic. It has ebb and flow, and rubato, another great music word, means stolen, robbed. Let's get some more people playing, and then we'll get Spencer up here. You want to do like 26? Pick up the 26. It's got to be in unison.
Okay.
Have some fun. microphone, please. Why did that happen?
Because I've been doing it in the six.
Yeah, they just weren't ready. You gotta give them a little bit of a baseline before you go out of the box, okay? And then here's the best part though. Here's the magic trick, the magic phrase everybody in my conduct class heard all the time. That happened. All you have to say to them is, folks, I'm trying to show you something. I didn't show it to you well enough, apparently. I'm gonna try harder. See if you can try a little harder to check out what I'm trying to show you. Do it again. And don't change the thing, see what happens. The problem is your macro pulse wasn't equal to 3 of your micro pulses.
Yeah.
You gave a good bum, 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 bing, bum, 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 bing, bum. Make sure that subdivision continues in your ear. Okay, here again. Ready. And guys aren't really watching very well. He's showing you an eighth note. He's giving you an eighth note. Now, he's not taking the tempo and cutting it in half. That's not inside the rules. He gave you an eighth and an eighth. Keep with it. Keep with it. Once again. You guys play. Don't you have eighth chord? Or are you playing the pickup? Do that again. What do you guys doing over here? Back to your six. Now go back to your six. Good job. You'll be able to loosen up over time. It's going to be a decade or two or never again in your life you're going to conduct a horn section with that kind of beautiful sound on those accents. And you didn't even smile at them. That's why I laugh, man. You got to smile when they give you that sound. And you smile when you laugh. Okay? So, Spencer, you have like 7 minutes, so good for you.